Imagine this. You're sitting in jail for a murder you didn't commit. A witness identified you. The prosecutor, who's never lost a case, is demanding the ultimate penalty. You have no alibi. 1 month until trial. And suddenly your lawyer calls and shouts into the phone, "Dude, you're on film." What does this mean? You're about to find out. May 12, 2003, Los Angeles, California. In the evening, police receive a call to Case Avenue. On the roadside near house number 6751 lies the body of a young woman. Next to her stands her mother, hysterically screaming in Spanish, "Oh God, they ended her." The victim has 2 shots to the face. Police quickly cordon off the street and begin questioning witnesses. The mother saw nothing. She only heard shots. The neighbors tell the same story, but they note one detail. Before the incident, a black Chevrolet Malibu had been circling the street. Nobody recognized the car. The victim's name was Martha Puebla, just 16 years old, and her name was already familiar to police. But why would detectives know a teenage girl? 6 months earlier, another incident occurred right at Martha's house. On the evening of November 27, 2002, Martha was lying in bed about to fall asleep when her friend Sophia knocked on the window. Sophia invited Martha for a walk with her boyfriend Christian Vargas, who was waiting in a car outside. While Martha was deciding whether to go, a man in a hooded sweatshirt approached Christian's car. Shots suddenly rang out. The frightened women hid inside. When they cautiously emerged, Christian's body was riddled with bullets. Martha screamed, "It's Peps." That was the nickname of her ex-boyfriend, 19-year-old Jose Ledesma, a member of the Violent Boys gang, one of the most notorious gangs in Los Angeles. But when police questioned her, Martha denied everything. She was terrified, and rightfully so. Telling a friend, "You know the shooter," is one thing. Telling police is another. That makes you a target for gang retaliation. Detectives already wanted Ledesma for another incident involving Enrique Acosta, committed 4 days before Christian's incident. Shell casings from both crime scenes matched. Same weapon. A search of Ledesma's house found a 9mm weapon, and letters from Violent Boys gang members. Police learned Ledesma wasn't acting alone. His accomplice was another gang member, Mario Catalan. The two fled to Mexico, but were detained there after a hotel fight. Mexican authorities sent them back to Los Angeles. During interrogation, Ledesma denied everything, but then the detective showed him a sheet with 6 photos. Ledesma's photo was circled with text, "This is the guy who shot Christian near my house," and the signature Martha Puebla. There was just one problem with this evidence, and this problem would cost Martha her life. The photo lineup was a complete fabrication. Martha never identified Ledesma. She told police from the beginning that she didn't know who fired. But detectives used trickery to break Ledesma, telling him Martha had testified against him when she hadn't. Police set Martha up. 6 months later, Martha was shot near her house. The connection was clear. This was gang revenge for supposedly cooperating with police. A warning to anyone who would testify against gang members. Detectives found a broken phone at the scene. It belonged to Martha's friend, who was with her when the shooting happened. After the shots, he ran, dropping his phone. This witness was incredibly valuable. He'd seen the perpetrator. He described the shooter as a man of Latin American appearance, aged 19 to 25, with dark short hair and a mustache. The man had gotten out of a black Chevrolet Malibu, approached Martha, asked, "What's your name?" She answered, "Martha." "You know me." Then he pulled out a weapon and fired at her face. Based on the witness's description, a detailed composite sketch was compiled. Detectives focused on members of the Violent Boys gang. The problem: too many members fit the description. After 3 months of investigation, police singled out one suspect, Juan Catalan, the younger brother of Ledesma's accomplice, Mario Catalan. Why him? First, he had motive. protecting his brother from Martha's potential testimony. Second, he lived just a few houses from the crime scene. Third, he resembled the composite sketch. And most importantly, the witness identified Juan Catalan as the shooter. But there was a crucial detail about Juan. Unlike his brother Mario, he wasn't a gang member. He led a decent life, had a wife and daughter, worked in his father's carpentry shop. Years ago, Juan had spent 3 months in detention for stealing car stereos with his brother. For Mario, crime continued. For Juan, that one detention was enough. He stayed away from criminal activity and started a family. Until now. On August 12, 2003, Juan Catalan was arrested for Martha Puebla's murder. During interrogations, Juan insisted on his innocence. But the evidence seemed overwhelming. And then things got even worse. Prosecutor Beth Silverman took the case. This woman had never lost. In the courthouse corridors, they called her the sniper, because she always sought the ultimate penalty. For weeks, Juan's family couldn't find a lawyer. Nobody believed in his innocence. Nobody wanted to oppose Silverman in a guaranteed loss. Finally, a lawyer named Todd Melnick agreed to defend Juan, only because he believed the guy was innocent. After speaking with him, Melnick saw one way out: prove Juan had an alibi. He questioned Juan about May 12, the day of Martha's incident. 4 months had passed. Juan couldn't remember, but his wife did. She reminded him. On May 12, he was at a Los Angeles Dodgers baseball game with his daughter. She even found the tickets. But tickets alone proved nothing. They could belong to anyone. Still, they showed which seats Juan supposedly occupied. Melnick contacted the stadium administrator to find people who sat near Juan that evening. 3 season pass holders were contacted. None were sure if they saw Juan. All refused to testify. Then Melnick got videotapes from the game. The faint hope was that Juan might appear somewhere in the background. Melnick spent almost a week studying the footage. Finding one person among 50,000 attendees was impossible. As expected, the lawyer didn't see his client. Less than a month remained until trial. Juan faced the ultimate penalty. And then the incredible happened. Melnick's wife was a huge fan of the comedy series Curb Your Enthusiasm. Reading about the upcoming 4th season online, she learned that one episode was filmed in spring 2003, including at the Los Angeles Dodgers Stadium. She told her husband. By incredible coincidence, the filming took place on May 12, the exact day Juan claimed to be at the stadium. Melnick contacted HBO. They confirmed several minutes of the 4th season's 6th episode were filmed at the baseball stadium that day. In the episode, the main character Larry David was rushing to a baseball game, but got stuck in traffic. To use the half lane for vehicles with 2 or more passengers, he picked up a lady of the night, and they went to the game together. HBO refused to show the footage before the episode aired. They'd have to wait 6 months. Then Melnick contacted Larry David directly. Only with his help did HBO agree to show what they filmed on May 12, 2003. There wasn't much material, about half an hour. The camera mostly filmed Larry David. Very few wide shots showed other people. The probability that anyone besides the actors could be clearly seen at a stadium with over 50,000 people. Frankly, none. In the footage, Larry David ended up in terrible seats. He noticed his friend with better seats and went down the stairway, hoping to sit next to him. The friend refused. Larry walked back up to his terrible seat. At that moment, a random fan in a white Dodgers jersey with number 27 entered the frame, blocking Larry, making the take unusable for the series. The man was holding a little girl by the hand. He turned to take his seat. Watching this, Melnick suddenly jumped from his chair and shouted, "That's him! That's him!" Rewinding the tape, the lawyer confirmed it was indeed Juan Catalan with his daughter. They found several more shots with Juan clearly visible. That same day, Todd Melnick called Juan and said, "Dude, you're on film. We did it." The trial came. The prosecutor argued the witness was reliable and the composite sketch matched Juan's appearance, but the defense had video evidence placing Juan at the stadium during the murder. The judge spoke at length. Juan didn't understand a word she said. Todd leaned over and whispered, "It's over." That same day, Juan Catalan was released. Later, the lawyer noted, if Juan hadn't gone to that game and stayed home, he wouldn't have had an alibi, and he most likely would have ended up on death row. After his release, Juan watched all episodes of Curb Your Enthusiasm. Not surprisingly, he calls it his favorite show. In mid-2004, Juan filed a lawsuit against the Los Angeles police for failing to properly investigate his alibi. The civil trial lasted 3 years, concluding in 2007. The court awarded Juan $320,000 in compensation. But what about those who actually took out Martha Puebla? Police returned to investigating Martha's case only a year later. They believed they already had the perpetrator. Now the investigation focused on Jose Ledesma. Spanish-speaking detectives listened to recordings of Ledesma's phone calls from detention. A few days before Martha's incident, Ledesma told an acquaintance, "You know the lady who lives near my house? Her name starts with M. I need her to disappear. I have big problems because of her." That person was another Violent Boys member, Jose Carrera Rubio's. Then gang members took out to police officers. Authorities went after the gang hard. A task force of over 1,000 officers confiscated more than $1 million, 75 weapons, 200 kilograms of illegal substances, and arrested over 30 gang members, including Rubio's. In January 2008, Ledesma made a deal. To avoid the ultimate penalty, he pleaded responsible for incitement to Martha's incident. Rubio's and two other gang members pleaded responsible directly for Martha's incident. All received life sentences, including Mario Catalan, Juan's brother. In 2008, Martha's family filed a lawsuit against Los Angeles police for lying to Ledesma that Martha identified him, thereby setting her up. The court recognized detectives acted negligently but didn't place full blame for Martha's passing on them. The family won the trial. The compensation, $1. One innocent man nearly executed because he was in the wrong place. One teenage girl eliminated because police lied. One family compensated with a single dollar. And one impossible coincidence that saved a life. What's more terrifying? That one almost died for a crime he didn't commit. Or that without that 1 in a million chance of being caught on camera, he would have. Let me know in the comments what you think about this case.